It's a Friday night truck series race. Welcome to Friday night truck series racing here at the Checkered Flag iRacing it this evening. We are running at the Dover Motor Speedway, the Monster Mile here. So we're going to be tackling the high banks of here in the great state of Delaware. Looks like tonight we're going to be having 135 laps around this track. Joshua Altus took the pole for us this evening in the number 94, starting second. His teammate Abram Ghostin. Going to get right into the starting lineups. Third, Jordan Trask in the number 79. Starting fourth, Mitchell Williams has been on a bit of a hot streak in the number 54. Matthew Williams starts fifth in number 35. Melissa Dyer in number 38, although I believe they are having some issues with that car number on that. Starting seventh, Justin Frazier. Eighth, great qualifying run for Thaddeus Friel Jr. Starting eighth. Todd Perrant in the number 69, starting ninth. Brent Thompson, who graduated recently to the number 45, starting in 10th. Starting 11th, Tony McDaniel. Tony, of course, last night did run the Daytona 500. If you do subscribe to his YouTube channel, he's placed fourth while spinning, so good run last night for Tony. Starting 12th, Brandon Hinton, potential dark horse for the race tonight. Hinton is one of those drivers who does like a long green flag run, and he can get up there on those long runs. Starting 13th and number 86, we got Joe Spinelli. Starting at number 14th, Caruso in the number 12 truck. Number 67 looks like Mike Sauter is going to be starting in the 15th spot. Again, we do have 135 laps going tonight. Looks like it's going to be about at least a 2 pit stop race. If they do decide to go and try to do a two pit stop evenly, you'll be looking at pit stops somewhere between about the 45 to 55 lap range. I think will be for a green flag pit stop. Although if you are waiting on that lap 55, you're going to be losing a lot of time on pit lane, but then you'll be gaining a lot once you get back going. But I don't know if you'll have enough time to catch and make up that ground if you are doing 55, 55, and then will that be about 20 laps or so? So you'd have to make up a lot of ground there. Looking at the point standings tonight, we got Jordan Trask as your points leader heading into this race. Ryan Engel was second place. Unfortunately, he looks like he's going to be missing the event tonight. Third place, Todd Perrant was actually here tonight. He's starting in the number 9 hole tonight, so just got to keep that in mind. Brandon Hinton's fourth in the points, and fifth is Justin Frazier. Is getting ready to go green flag racing here with the pace car off. Josh Altus in the number 94, Abram Ghostin in 22, starting it off here, the front row. We're in the restart zone. We're going to be going green flag racing here. Big thing to keep an eye on here is going to be wheel spin on the early parts of the green flag run because it does get a little loose off of the corners here early on in these runs, and then it starts to get a bit tight throughout the rest of the run. So it's just something to keep an eye on. Ooh, looks like Ghost is in the wall there coming up off turn 2. Hopefully he doesn't have any kind of damage with that truck there. 2x2 after first two guys of Altus and Trask. They're running 1-2, and we got 2x2 behind them. Some good racing going on. Everybody made it through turn 2 perfectly clear. That's a good thing. We're starting to sort out single file racing. Looks like for around a third spot there, we got a car in the wall down there. Looks like Tony McDaniel in the number 3's and hit the inside wall. I'm not sure what happened on that. Stayed green though, so that's unfortunate for Tony, but that's the breaks here with iRacing. Abram Ghostin has settled into the third spot right now as looks like he's got Melissa Dyer and Matt Williams breathing right down his throat there for third. Everyone's settled back in the 2x2 race. We do have one of the cars taking a peak load a little bit further in the back. It's Nate Lesko. Lesko is a truck that's going to be one of those trucks I think is going to be one to contend with in the number 19. He's running in the 11th spot right now. We're going to take a ride on board the great Joe Spinelli right now. Joe's currently running in the 13th spot. He's all alone. He's a guy that's going to be interesting to keep an eye on here. He does have among the best average. We got our car on the wall here coming up off turn 4. Caution flag is out.
Doing a really good job. Tell me about your race car when you can.
Checking up for the pace.
I did not see exactly what happened on that. We're going to take a look back here and see what happened. That accident there.
Gotta let the pace car by. Gotta stop.
Everything's looking fine going down into turn 3. Oh, somebody got loose there. I can't tell who that was that got loose there. Oh, Frill Jr., unfortunately, after a great start there, got loose and got right up in front of Frazier. Bring out that first caution. It's a shame. He had a good qualifying run. It's good to see. Unfortunately, it's going to be a tough turnaround for the rest of the race for him. Hopefully, he can get that damage fixed up and back on the track. Looked like he got bumped a little bit there, maybe. He's quite a bit loose there as we're running along with the number 8 truck there. I'll run a caution flag right now. We're going to try to grab somebody from the... Try to bring up somebody here into the booth here to have a little chit-chat with them here. Really, we should see if we can try to bring up Joe Spinelli here. See how things are in the middle of the pack.
Pancakes!
Hey, Joe Spinelli, it's Dave up in the booth. How you doing out there?
Hey, Dave, what's going on?
I know it's a little early, but it looks like you're just out there cruising along. Looks like things got a little bit hairy up there in front of you there. How you feeling out there with the truck?
Big man?
Yeah, I mean, it's running pretty good out here. I really like the setup tonight. Noticed we only had a couple extra sets of tires, so we're trying to run long on the first stint. See if we can save that last set for late in the race and capitalize on a mismatch.
Well, you're going to be someone I think is going to be a little bit of a dark horse here tonight. From my understanding, looking at the pointers throughout the stats here at the checkered flag, looks like you do have the third best average finishing of the drivers here at the checkered, but the fourth. So let's see if you can get back up there. Let you go back on the racetrack, and good luck for the rest of the ones. Get ready to go green here.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Yep.
That was Joe Spinelli to number 86 there, and we have only run this is going to be the third official race that we've run here at the checkered flag at the Dover Motor Speedway. Spinelli does only have one start in there, and he did finish 4th in there, so it's a little bit of a skewed stat, but Joe usually is pretty solid at this racetrack, and he's usually solid everywhere he goes. Right now, Joe is currently running in the, it looks like in the 8th spot in the points, so he is usually a very solid driver to keep an eye out for. Right now, the car's lining up 2x2, getting ready to go back green flag racing. We got Josh Holtis on the inside and Jordan Trask on the outside. They're going to be getting ready to take a green. It'll be interesting to see if there's any kind of wheel spin or see how anybody gets a bad restart here, because Dover is usually one of those tracks where it's something you have to keep an eye on for. There is only 7 laps on the tire, so hopefully we won't have any kind of issues with that, but it will be something to keep an eye on for if we have a caution with about 10, 12, or 10 to 15, 20 laps on the tires. Lights are off in the pace car. Pace car dives back into the inside down the pit lane. Altus is leading the way here. He's going to be your setup man here as they get into the restart zone. And there they go. And he gets a good jump down going down the front stretch as they head down in the turn 1. Looks like Jordan did get a little bit of a rough restart there, but I thought he might have been able to clear Dyer there, but yep, he was able to clear Dyer barely, and looks like Dyer is going to jump into the 3rd spot. Matt Williams in the number 35 is in 4th. And behind them, they got a little bit of a mess right now. They got Todd Perron and Abram Gosen out there battling for 5th. Perron, I believe he started around 9th, so he's actually making his way up through the field pretty quickly here this evening, so that's something good to see. Ghost falls back to 6th. He actually is falling back to 7th right now. It looks like I can't actually tell which car that is right now in front of him. Oh, it's Mitchell Williams in a 54. Mitchell Williams in a 54. He's able to get back in a line there. Ghost is falling back a little bit after starting on the outside pole. He's back in the 7th spot right now here, 10 laps in. I'm sure he'll be able to get back up. He's usually one of those drivers usually very strong on a long run, so we'll have to see if that is something's a bit of a trend later tonight. Heading down in turn 3, it looks like things are starting to get a little spicy up front between Jordan Trask and Melissa Dyer. Knowing Jordan, the way he drives, he's probably not looking to push that truck right now, so it wouldn't surprise me to maybe see him let Dyer go, but then if he does let Dyer go, he's got, looks like a freight train of about 4 other trucks right there. He'd be more than happy to take his spot in line, so he's probably trying to push the truck a little bit harder than he'd like to right now because he wants to save tires so he doesn't let Altus get away here in the longer runs. It'll be interesting to see if what this longer run here does for Dyer, because they do look like they're pushing that truck pretty hard. They're in the number 38 in the third spot right now. If we get a long green flag run, they might actually start falling back there a little bit later on. We're going to jump aboard the Jordan Trask machine right now. Yeah, he's just out there having a nice little Friday night cruise. He's like, hey, Josh, I'm still here, buddy. I'm not going anywhere. And it's like right around this time, you're going to start seeing a bit of an inflection here between the drivers that have been pushing their vehicles a little bit earlier in the run, and the guys who have been taking care of their tires a little bit later on in the run. We're going to take a little quick spin right back here to Joe Spinelli right now. And Joe, like I mentioned, one of those guys who's been just cruising along. So probably right around now, between now and about 20 laps in, you're going to start seeing some guys moving forward, some guys falling back. That's the way Dover is. If you harm your tires early on in the run, you're going to be paying for it later on in the run. And if you're saving them, you're going to be one of those guys moving up. Spinelli's getting a little bit of a push right now, and we got Zach Mullen right now in the Rapala machine. Zach's another one of those guys. He's always there at the end, and he's going to be one of those guys who's going to be taking care of his stuff here. As long as everything stays green, he can keep the truck on the track and doesn't have any kind of computer issues. So he has been battling with some gremlins there. He'll be having some pretty decent runs now. Hopefully his RAM will hold up for him, and he'll be able to cure those computer gremlins that have been giving him issues. And then we got a caution. Oh, big hit down there and going down into turn 3, or off turn 4, excuse me. It's like Frank Caruso's involved. Judson Curtis also looks like they're involved in the accident.
My bad.
They're right along with Caruso on the number 12. He's trying to get past Joe Spinelli. And it looks like Caruso just lost the back end of it, coming up off 4, and unfortunately Curtis had nowhere to go. It doesn't look like there's too much damage on the Curtis truck, but oh, that's not something you want to see right there with the 8 and the 3 get hammered in the 12 car. But that is unfortunately Dover Speedway right there in a nutshell. Things can change the blink of an eye, and a lot of times you get collected in somebody else's mess because it's just so fast getting around here. Now we're 17 laps in, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in terms of pitting right now. I get about 35 laps, 135 laps. You can get about 55 laps per pit run, so they might be able to squeeze out make this a one-stopper here if they come in and top off right now. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody goes that route. It's like we have 4 drivers come in. It looks like Curtis, Spinelli, Zach Mullen, and I can't tell who that is. It looks like maybe Jacob Williams there. And is that Jordan Trask coming in up ahead of Spinelli up there? That's going to be an interesting thing right there, because you figure we're going to have probably be about 20 laps into the race, so you figure about 115 laps to go, so you figure you need to run about 57. You're going to need about 57, 58 laps here to be able to make this to the end on a one-stopper, so it'll be
Can I get a mic check?
It's a gamble, but it's something that is definitely going to be doable, especially with the tire we're going to be falling off here right around this time, and the speeds are going to be falling off. It's really going to be shaking the standings up here, though. We'll be seeing Melissa Dyer moving up into 2nd place, and Matt Williams jumping up in the 3rd spot on a restart, along with Todd Perano, looks like, in the 4th. I think right now Altus is going to be the truck to beat tonight. He's been fast all evening in practice, qualifying. He's been on the leaderboards up in that number 1 slot all night. So if Jordan is out there trying to do some trophy hunting, that's the way you're going to want to do it. Maybe try to get off sequence and see if you can maybe steal one off Josh right there. Looks like the lights are off on the pace car. Going to be going green flag racing here the next time by. It does look like Frank Caruso, unfortunately, is still on pit road, so he's going to be losing a couple laps here if he able to get that truck back rolling there. Truck to keep an eye on tonight is going to be that number 19, Nate Lesko. He's already up to 17th. I believe he didn't qualify, so I believe he started around the 17th spot. He already jumped up about 10 spots so far, so he's one of those guys you want to keep an eye on. He was fast in practice, so he's going to be fun to keep an eye on there. Got a good run going for Brent Thompson there in the number 45. He's in 8th spot here on 19 laps in. Brent was saying in practice that he just hopes to be able to finish the race, and right now, if he can say where he's running, he's going to be very happy at the end of the night. Pace car's off, getting ready to go back green flag racing. Going to keep an eye out for some wheel spin here because that's something could be a bit of an issue. 19 laps in.
Be ready, green flag.
And they're off. Altus gets a nice restart there. Looks like Dyer just didn't really get going there on the outside lane. That's going to allow Matt Williams to possibly try to sneak in underneath the Dyer for 3rd spot. And he's able to, and he's going to bring, it looks like Mitchell Williams there into the 3rd spot with him. At least Mitchell's going to give it a whirl. Dyer's fighting back on the outside of Williams there coming up off of turn 4. That Dyer truck right now, they're running really fast out there tonight. Might be somebody to keep an eye on. They cut it right back down and right behind Altus. I thought Williams is going to be able to clear them and keep 2nd spot there. I guess I was wrong. Looks like Lesko there trying to sneak up in the 5th spot here as he's battling. Looks like Tom Perrant there for the number 69. He's able to clear that and pull up in the 5th. Those trucks that came in for a pit stop, looks like so far Jordan Trask is leading the way. He's already up to 11th spot. Running single file right now, but it looks like Mitchell Williams there is putting some pressure on Matt Williams. Williams putting it on Williams there, coming up off of turn 4. This track is so much fun because there's so many different ways you can try to get around this track and actually do it with speed. Some people like to diamond it. Some people like to try a late corner arc to get in there. I've seen some people riding right up against the wall if the track's on a bit of warm condition tonight. The track temperature is a bit cool, so I think you're going to be seeing most of the guys running on a lower part of the racetrack. We're going to jump aboard Jordan Trask's vehicle right now. Trask is still back there in 11th. He's just out there cruising along, I'm pretty sure. If he is going for the one-stop event or one-stop race right now, he's got to save probably about 2 laps of fuel, 2 to 3 laps of fuel on his fuel run and make sure he doesn't burn that right front off because he already got 20 laps in basically before that pit stop. So he'd be looking at probably around 75 laps on the right front tire for one single fuel run. That's something that's going to be a bit of a stretch right there for him. We're looking on board. It looks like a little bit up ahead of him. Looks like Brent Thompson's out there battling with Justin Frazier out there for the 8th spot. There's a Ghost right there running in 7th with the. Looks like Brent's there saying, "Hey, Ghost, I got this. Let me go by." He dives that thing right down in the corner. It's going to allow Ghost there to possibly get a run off. Nope. Ghost is just saving his stuff right now as he looks like Thompson go by for the 7th spot. It's good to see Grandpa Thompson up there running in 7th. He's having a good night tonight so far. We saw a little bit of smoke coming off turn 4. Looks like somebody might have kissed that wall coming up the tight little corner there. And as I mentioned a few minutes ago, some of those guys like to drive that truck on the higher side, and right now Brent's one of those guys who's actually running up the highest on the racetrack right now. He's making up some pretty good ground. A little further up ahead, we see Nate Lesko starting to put some pressure on the 54 of Mitchell Williams, as there's a little bit of separation starting to go on right now between 3rd and 4th. I do believe Lesko is the dark horse for this evening. He's taking a little peek inside of Mitchell right there. Then the number 19 Nesquik machine. Williams tapped the wall a little bit there, coming up off of turn 4. And everything's pretty tame right now with these guys running single file. Lesko just got a really nice run by taking that thing high into turn 1 and getting a nice low run off turn 2. Putting some pressure on Williams there, looking for the number 4th spot. And he's not able to keep the thing rolling down off turn 4, but he does let Mitchell know. He's like, hey, I'm here. You make a mistake, I'm going to be there to capitalize and take that position. You got to be thinking Altus right now running in the lead, about 0.2 of a second lead over Dyer. Altus, you know, he's just out there probably just cruising along. He's not even pushing that thing right now. He's saying, hey, you guys battle it out. You got to get past me to get the lead. Speaking of slipping up, we see Williams slip up a little bit. It's going to allow Mitchell Williams to take a little peek in there. Coming up off of turn 2, Williams looking to pass Williams. That's a little bit of a tongue twister, but that's what we got going on right now. Nice little battle. Normally, like on a lot of the tracks, Williams almost got into Mitchell there. Normally on a lot of tracks, you just see when somebody gets the inside line to be able to drive right on by, but coming up off these turns here, you need some extra grip to be able to make the pass, and high side does seem like it has some grip on the outside, and they're giving some little bit of headache right now for people to get past. A little further back, we see Justin Frazier in a 27 truck making a move on Brent Thompson as Thompson, he pancaked that wall pretty bad. That might have caused some suspension issues there for the old Grandpa Thompson here in the 45. And he almost hit it again coming up off of turn 2. Let's hope his truck's okay. He's having a good run out there so far tonight. It looks like Thompson is having a little bit of difficulty right now with that truck. Seems like he's having some trouble getting that thing turning around. He was running a high line, but right now he's kind of kissing a low line, going a bit slower. You think he's a little bit gun shy about trying to jump back up in the high lane there. Right now he's getting some pressure from Brandon Hinton in the number 17. Hinton's one of those guys who's going to be good in the long run. I spoke about Joe Spinelli, Zach Mullen. That 17 truck, Brandon Hinton, he's one of those guys. He's a long run machine right there, and he's going to be a truck that's going to be keep an eye on here as the race goes along. Up ahead, it looks like we see Justin Frazier taking a peek inside of Todd Parent. Looks like they're battling for the 7th spot. Oh, they get together coming up off turn 4. He did a nice job of saving that thing. Todd. I think Todd's truck is actually one of those ones that are starting to get that point where he pushed it a little bit too hard early, and he's starting to pay for it right now because he was all the way up in fourth or 5th spot earlier in the run, and he's fallen back into the clutches of possibly falling back to 8th here. Just 36 laps in, he's taking a run up high. It looks like his truck's pushing quite a bit right now. It's got a good battle going on. There goes Frazier again. Frazier's got like, come on, buddy, you're just keeping me up here. There's a little bit of a gap between the top 5 trucks and Ghost there, running in 6th right now. Ghost, as I mentioned, he's one of those guys likes he likes those long runs, and he's fast out there, and he's moved back up into 6th. Looks like he's starting to slowly catch up to some of those guys as Altus is starting to check out right now. He's got about a 1.1 second lead over Dyer. Right now, Williams and Lesko, they got to get past Dyer. Try to maybe see if they have anything for Josh, but even Dyer's starting to pull away from Mitchell and Matt. So you have to wonder if they might have over-pushed their machines a little bit. Now, if these guys are going for a 2-stop, and Brent right now is still falling off right now, and if these guys are going on a 2-pit stop, you should start seeing some pitting sequences starting up here within the next 5 to 10 laps. So you figure 135 laps, 2 pit stops, you're going to be looking about a 45-lap pit window. And if you want to make up some extra track position, maybe come in a little bit earlier even. There's Joe Spinelli looking to get around Thompson. Yeah, Brent must have really messed up his suspension on that truck when he hit the turn 4 wall. He's just really falling back. He's all the way back to 12th. He was up in 7th spot, I believe, when that happened. So that's rough, but that's Dover for you. Everything can change in a blink of an eye at this racetrack. Gonna move up a little bit further up ahead here right now. It looks like Nate Lesko up the 4th. He's looking to move up the 3rd spot right now. He's already made work of Mitchell Williams there. these three guys, they've been battling it pretty hard now for the last 15, 20 laps or so. So this is some good racing right now for second spot. Second, third, fourth, fifth on back. Right behind them is a very patient Abram Ghostin. I think Abram might have the fastest truck or one of the fastest trucks on the racetrack right now, but he's kind of stuck behind these guys. I'll have to see if the saving those tires actually help him get around these guys pretty easy, or if he's going to lose too much time on Josh Altus, who's running in the lead right now. There we go. You see Mitchell here's taking a little peek down there. Nothing really going on anywhere around the racetrack. This is the best battle right now, and they just look like they're trying to hang on to it at this point in time. Should start seeing pit stops starting up here soon if they are going for a two-stopper, if they're looking to break it up in even thirds. Here's Justin Frazier right now we're going to take a look at. He just got passed by Jordan Trask, and got Brandon Hinton here in number 17 looking to get past him now. Trask is the guy who's furthest up in those trucks who took a pit stop in that last round. He's up in the 8th spot right now. Ooh, Frazier just pancaked the wall like Thompson did earlier. I have to say, I think Justin has one of the nicest trucks on the racetrack paint-wise tonight. It's one of my favorites out there this evening. Fortunately, he just got passed by Spinelli also. He almost hit the wall again off turn 4, and there's saw another truck going back behind. Looks like Zach Molnar, maybe Jacob Williams might have hit the turn 4 wall also.
Go low, go low.
There goes Jordan looking to make a move on Todd Perron for the looks like the 7th spot. Jordan's actually a little bit faster right now than a leader Josh Altus. He's slowly chipped away at that lead. I believe he was running about 6.6 seconds behind Josh earlier. He's down to 5.96 seconds right now, 48 laps in the event. So he's going to be liking that right now. A little further up front, there's Abram. He's looking to start putting some pressure on. He's like, hey, guys, as he hits the turn 4 wall a little bit off. Also, I think that was more like a Darlington kiss right there instead of the old Dover smash it up, but he still kissed it anyway. Abram again started in the 2nd spot. He's now running in the 6th spot right now. I think he was saving his tires a little bit earlier on. We'll have to see if he continues to move ahead, or if he's just going to kind of just keep on cruising here until pit stops. In terms of pit stops, this is going to be interesting because this is one of the, in my opinion, it's one of the toughest pit lanes to get into because you're doing about 135, 140 miles an hour, and you have to slow it all the way down that general tire line right there, down to 35 miles an hour, and it's just tough to even arc it in there. And then you're just like, man, I was just running about 135 with about 160 miles an hour, and I'm doing 35. It feels like you're crawling. It's like you're jumping on the interstate and then going down into Philadelphia, Pennsylvania traffic, and about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's just something that's just not, you don't like.
Sounds good.
A little further up ahead, we see Nate Lesko is looking to try to make a move on Mitchell Williams there for 4th. These guys have been battling now for, it has to be like about 10, 15, 20 laps right now. Mitchell, I think, might have pushed his truck a little bit early. Pushed his truck a little too much earlier on, but he's still running a very solid 4th spot right now as Lesko takes a peek inside. At this point in the race, if I'm Mitchell, I'd probably just let him go because you're just going to be causing yourself lose too much time, and you're just holding up that other guy who's a little bit faster. Lesko's able to get the pass down. But you're 53 laps into a 135 lap event. I want to be trying to hold these guys out because you're going to be keeping the door open for possibly Abram Ghostin to catch up and even slow you down even further. That's why those guys are out there battling for 4th spot, and I'm up here in the booth with y'all. A lot of these guys are probably looking for a caution right now, and it's going to be interesting to keep an eye on when these guys do get fresh tires. They're going to be out there, going to be feeling like Superman, and they're going to be out there ripping around this racetrack. And some of those guys are on that one-stop pit strategy, like Trask, Spinelli, I believe Mullen is one of the other ones who pitted. They're going to have an interesting dilemma on their hands because they're going to have these guys coming up probably about running around 53-second laps, and here comes Ghost in the pit lane. See if he can get woed up in time. Looks like he's able to. They're going to be running from they're currently running probably around a mid to upper 54-second lap or 24 24-second laps. You're looking at about mid 24-second lap right now, and once these guys get tires, they're going to be out there running probably in the mid 23, so they're going to be catching up to these guys on older tires quickly, and it's going to be interesting to see. Looks like Josh Altus finally gives up the lead here. He takes his pit stop, and Matt Williams, his teammate, takes over the reins for the lead for now.
Pitting.
We're hearing on the radio some other drivers are starting to pit right now. Here comes the... Ooh, Dyer almost lost it. They're coming into pit lane. Melissa Dyer's solder truck is in pit lane. Todd Perron's in pit lane. Perron's probably thrilled to be able to get some new tires on there. A little further up ahead, though, still on the racetrack, we got Nate Lesko, Mitchell Williams. Looks like Matt Williams is starting to come down pit lane right now. Jordan's really flying right now. Now the trucks are still out there. Jordan's really flying. He was actually got up to Mitchell, and he was one of those trucks that actually stayed out and took that pit stop late in the last run, or during that caution. Lesko is just coming into pit, starting a lead coming in, and ooh, Jordan's like, give me that lead. I want that bonus point. So he makes a pass on Mitchell Williams for the lead. 60 laps in a race, and Jordan Trask back up front.
45 pitting this time by.
Mitchell Williams looks like they're coming in. Jordan's got himself, looks like about a 4-second lead over second place Joe Spinelli. Joe's another one of those drivers who came in. There's Brent Thompson there in pit lane. Looks like he's joined by joining Mitchell there in pit lane. We got Judson Curtis running right now in the 4th spot. Tony Spinelli's had an exciting evening so far, running 3rd in the number 3. There's Frank Caruso there, a little bit, few laps down there, running the 16th spot. We see him in the camera view. Give him a shout out. He's got that Leonard Skinner sponsor on the back of his truck. Right, I'll keep an eye on, looks like is that Judson Curtis right there? Judson came in a little bit late, didn't get that much practice in. He's out there just cruising along right now, logging some laps. Those guys who did come in around like lap 20, you figure they probably can get to around 77, probably between 77, I'd say about 77-ish you're looking to get to. 77, lap 78, somewhere around there just to try to one-stop this thing. We're on board with Josh Altus right now. Altus is the first car lap down, so if a caution flag were to fly, he's your man who gets the lucky dog and gets to go around. I'd probably take a wild guess some of these other guys who haven't pit already, or have pit already, would just take the wave around. It's going to be interesting to see what the field shakes out once those top 4 actually come into pit. Altus out there, he's running, it looks like about a 23.8. And here we see Jordan Trask, he's running a 25.1. That's about a 1.3 second gap right there, and these laps are only take about 20 seconds to get around this racetrack, 23 seconds, so It's going to be an interesting thing to see what happens here. There we see Brandon Hittner looking to get one of his laps back here in a 13th spot. You also have to keep an eye on you. Like if you're Jordan Trash right now, you're running the high side and letting these guys go. You're using a little bit more fuel because you have to run that high side, and you're running a little bit slower just because you're letting these guys go past you on the inside. And you're taking that slower line around this racetrack. So you're allowing Altus, Ghost, Dyer, Williams, Lesko, and Williams all to catch up just that little bit more. There's Altus in his clean air right now. He's got no one in front of him. It looks like there's caution out in the racetrack. Oh man, does this really help out Spinelli, Trask, McDaniel, and Curtis? And Frazier's involved. You see him spin it. Oh, he almost collects the, I don't know which truck that was there. He almost collects somebody else there coming up off turn 4. Right now, if you're those top 4 trucks that stayed out, Trask, Spinelli, McDaniel, Curtis, you are loving this caution, and you're probably Venmoing Justin Frazier here a little bit of money to pay for a couple iRacing credits, as it looks like he just lost a truck coming up off turn 4. Or if you're not in a Venmo, maybe PayPal. Either way, send a few iRacing credits over to Justin Frazier for that.
I really wish that caution didn't come out.
Altus is going to be your getting a lucky dog, it looks like. I'm going to assume that a lot of these other trucks here that are one lap down are probably just going to take the waiver route so they can get back on a lead lap. That's going to put them at a bit of a disadvantage, though, because those guys are going to be on fresh tires. So unless we get another quick caution, it's going to be a little bit of a rough time for them to try to get back up to the front. Even for Josh right now, we're looking as we watch him go around the track with the lucky dog. He's got about 12 lap older tires than those 4 this pit are going to have. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens. I do believe they have a 2 or I'm not sure if it's 2 or 3 sets of tires that they have tonight. So in the pits. So maybe if they have 3 sets, maybe you might see Josh come in and take one just to try to get back on the same pit strategy as those guys did. I will admit I'm a little bit surprised not to see Zach Mullen as one of the guys who tried to maybe stretch that one. Zach's usually one of those guys who likes to try some
every single person
things like that.
Me, as soon as you
pit strategy things to try to get back up on the racetrack.
Gas it up and go. You'll all get the right round. You're not going to have much time to get around.
And Josh is going to come in and take some tires here, or maybe even just fuel it up. We'll have to see here. It'll be interesting to see if Altus takes tires or if he just goes fuel only here.
You gotta go, Michael.
For a strategy, it might just be good to just take the fuel only, just to keep that extra set of tires in there for later on in the run. But
for Matt coming off
looking to catch up,
so you guys know,
might want to just take that extra tires, just be even with those guys up front. Right now, the lights are off of the pace car, and it looks like those top 4 right there are going to be your leaders: Jordan Trash, Joe Smiley, Tony McDaniel, Josh Altus. Right now, it's showing up here in the 4th, but it's really going to be Judson Curtis starting in the 4th spot. And then everyone else behind those guys right there, they all took the wave around as they're coming up off of turn 2. And this is going to be a little bit wild here, I think, as they get once they get the green flag going back there. You got guys on old tires. You got to look for tire spin. Guys are going to be trying to get aggressive to get track position to get back up front. It's going to be fun. Josh Altus has been the fastest car on the racetrack tonight. Is going to be restarting in the 11th spot. So they're going back green flag racing there. Trask gets out to a nice lead. It looks like Spinelli had a little bit of trouble there getting off the gas there. You're also going to have to navigate the wounded truck of Crusoe there. Looks like they're going to be starting, like they're starting 5th in line. Crusoe, of course, did have that early incident that caused some damage to his truck earlier on. Right now we're starting to see a top 4 or 5 trucks just settle in. 1, 2, 3. Spinelli actually took the lead there. I wonder what happened on that one. Joe Spinelli is out there running 9/10 of a second faster. Oh, we got a truck in the wall coming up off of turn 4. Looked like maybe Ghost, or was that Justin Frazier? Oh, looks like it was Brent maybe. Either way, they are getting a bit wild back here and later, deeper in the field. I think it actually was Justin Frazier coming up off of turn 4. He's showing a lap down.
45's pitting.
Up front, Joe Spinelli is actually checked out. He's got a 1.8 second lead over his teammate Jordan Trask, who's running second. Tony McDaniel's Mr. Consistency so far. Number 3 running third. Behind him, you got the lap car, Zach Mullen. Zach's out there saying he wants to get a lap back. He's open for another caution, or even say his lucky dog right now. He gets by McDaniel pretty quickly. He sets his sights out on Jordan Trask. Looking a little further back in the field, there's Josh Altus. He's up to 9th, but he's got a long way to go. He's 7 seconds behind Spinelli for the lead. But if there's anyone who can stretch a gallon,
Joshua, check the
that's your man right there.
To the next turn.
Got Nate Lesko taking a peek inside of Judson Curtis there for 4th. I think that was battle for 4th. I still think Lesko is one of the trucks to beat right now. Everyone's so jumbled up from where they were earlier in the race. It's kind of a little bit interesting to see what's going on. Ooh, was that Ghost there getting a little wild, or is that oh, Frazier's got off pretty wild off the wall.
Yeah, I'm racing Basari, Brent, man. I thought you entered high.
Man, if I'm Justin Frazier tonight, I'm looking at. I'm trying to get away from anybody. He's battling that thing pretty hard all night. He's out there dirt racing while these guys are out there running on rails right now. He just pancakes the wall yet again. We see Lesko starting to put some pressure on Judson there for 4th spot. Not gonna lie, I thought Judson would put up run a little bit stronger here this evening. He's been very quiet, running around 12th or 15th all night. Part of that caution. This is one of his favorite racetracks, so I thought he'd actually be a little bit stronger, but possibly just holding on to his tires right now. Trying to get everything, saving that stuff for the end. Right now, however, he's got a little bit of pressure coming from Mitchell Williams. A little further up front, we see Tony McDaniels passing Zach Mullen back off. Zach probably pushes truck, hoping to try to get back on the lead lap, but he's still got a little bit of ways between him and it looks like Mitchell Williams there in the 54 and for 13th. That's going to be your battle for the lucky dog position between Mullen and Williams. Not sure what happened with Mitchell. He was running up in the top 5 prior to that caution. Here you see these two battling right now. They've been battling all night, bumper to bumper, Dyer and Altus. Back in the 8th and 9th spot right now. Looks like the Joe Williams taking a little peek inside of the Crusoe truck there. Dyer seems like they're falling off right now. I don't know if maybe their tires got burned up or what's going on with that. They seem like they're kind of slowing up right now. Hopefully it's nothing mechanical. They're having a great run in that number. Looks like they're running a 64 this week. A little further up ahead, we got a nice little battle going on. We got Curtis. Looks like Williams ghosting. All basically pretty much nose to tail right now, running for a top 5 spot. A little further up ahead, I did mention Spinelli got out to a huge lead earlier on, but right now, slowly chipping away. Jordan Trask got that down to about a 2.3 second advantage right now. I think Joe actually went out there, tried to put some hot laps out there, burn the tires up, and he's starting to pay for it now about 20 laps and 10 to 15 laps in, into this run. That gap's down about 1.9 seconds. A little further in the back, keep an eye on right along with Josh Waltis. Ooh, somebody got really loose there out ahead of him. Couldn't tell who that was. Looks like we got a battle right now lining up for 5th. Williams taking it up on the outside of Curtis. Curtis, I'm surprised he's struggling a bit right now, and he's got, I believe, fresher tires on there, but I do think he might have got some wheel damage from that first accident that we had earlier this evening. So he did seem like he got caught up in that incident with McDaniel, Friel, and I think Caruso was also in that one, if I remember correctly. And we just saw Mitchell Williams' truck right there. Mitchell is again lapped down, but he's starting to close up on Zach Mullen. And again, that is going to be the battle for the lucky dog once they get close to each other. Zach almost got lucky because he had a few opportunities to have a caution, but they never actually flew yet. Everything's pretty much single file for a lot of ways around the racetrack. We got some guys starting to get past Zach Mullen there in lap truck. Ghost disappeared there for a quick second. Ooh, and Zach just hit the wall pretty hard. He's battling that truck. He's out there. He's like, I want that lucky dog. Fortunately, looks like Mitchell's going to take that away from him here. Zach almost lost it coming up off the turn. He's struggling a bit. A little further up ahead, looks like we got a battle for a lead starting to come up. Trask has caught Spinelli. 0.2 of a second. Right behind him, they got Brent Frazier lapped down. Trask takes it down low. Let's see how much room Spinelli is going to give him. Oh, that's a no doubt about it. I think Joe definitely just burned his tires up right there. It's not a terrible idea. Those guys have about 6 seconds to try to catch up to him. That's still possibly try to get in a second. Big question is going to be for Spinelli is how much fuel is he burning through right now. If this thing stays green the rest of the way, it might be a little bit tight for him in terms of pit window. Jordan is just so good. Jordan is just so good at running this track right now and saving a tire out there. He's one of the best tire savers in the league right now. Been made aware by the people in the down in the pits that we had Justin Frazier taking a pit stop there. So if Justin Frazier is your favorite driver, unfortunately, he did have to take a pit stop. He's having some unfortunate issues this evening with his truck. A little bit loose, a little bit tight. He's been battling the monster all evening. A little further back in the field, and see Josh Altus is starting to pick people off one at a time. He's moved up to 7th spot. Already picked off Ghostin. Perrant has his eyes set on Judson Curtis. Gonna take a wild stab that Josh probably put tires on that last pit stop there because he's flying right now.
I'm just riding around behind you, Joe. It's over for me. I'm just doing laps.
See Mitchell Williams taking a peek inside a Ghost vehicle there. Then again, maybe Josh didn't take tires. They don't feed. It's going to be something to take a look back on during the replay when we watch it later on. Right now, it looks like we got Brandon Hinton taking a look inside of the Jacob Williams machine. Thought Hinton would be a little bit more competitive this team. He's still running top 10, though, so that's still a pretty solid run. I thought with the longer green flag runs, we'd see him a little bit further up in the field. This does seem like his kind of racetrack. He usually seems like one of those drivers likes those high. As we see Williams hit the wall there. Abram Gossen's in the pits. Brandon Hinton is one of those drivers who likes these high tire racetracks, and he's usually quite good at them. Joe Spinelli's in for a pit right now. That's a bit surprising. Thought Joe might have been able to make it the rest of the way, but I'm wondering if he might have pushed it a little bit too hard there and just realized, hey, I'm not going to make it. Let me get in and get these fresh tires now and hope for the best. Here we see Alta's taking a look inside of Curtis there for 5th. He's got it easily. As a battle, it's been going on for about 5 or 6 laps, so I'm sure Josh probably would have liked to have gotten around Judson a little bit quicker. Now he's got his eyes set for 4th place Tony McDaniel, who's up ahead there for watching along on his in-car camera. Tony is his 2nd car in line up there in that bright Dale Earnhardt tribute truck there. If I'm not mistaken, that's a paint scheme that Earnhardt ran at the Winston back in the mid-90s. We got pit stops going on. There's Brandon Hinton. You figure we got about 30 laps to go. These guys are pitting. If they're able to get around the leader, it takes about 23.5 seconds on fresh tires, about 24.5, 25 seconds on the long run. I don't see them actually being able to unlap themselves for 2 laps and be able to come back around the track twice and pass Jordan Trask. They might be able to get around the maybe 8th spot if everyone else stays out for Dyer, but I don't see it. Just not enough track. Oh, Jordan's in the pit. That's interesting. Let's see what Trask does here. See if he's taking on 4 tires, gas, or if he's just going to go right sides here. I assume 4 because you don't really want to take 2 tires here. Nate Lesko has taken over the lead. Lesko's got about a 2.6 second lead over Matthew Williams there in the 35. There goes Jordan exiting pit lane. It'll be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see where he comes out in reference to Spinelli because those two were battling and Jordan had passed Joe not too long ago. This should be around the time where those guys who got trapped the lap down had to take a wave round do have to start thinking about coming in for a pit stop here. So I believe they took a pit round lap 57, so they probably can maybe get to about lap 112 on a full tank of fuel. Altus, we know, took a pit stop in the last one, so he can probably... He might be able to get to him. I'm not sure. I think he's going to be short for it, but we'll see. Looks like Todd Perron's in for a pit stop right now.
Sorry, Mitchell. They were checking up.
Altus taking a look down low on McDaniel. He gets that easy. Smart move by Tony, just saying, hey, you're quicker. Let me just go on by. It's a big. You gotta be thinking these guys are looking to stay out as long as possible,
Go ahead,
possibly
Jordan.
try to trap those other guys a lap down, kind of like how Jordan, Spinelli, McDaniel, and those guys did the rest of the field earlier. And that's something you have to keep an eye on here, is those guys are on fresh tires, are coming up very fast on these guys who are on older tires and can get pretty hairy pretty quickly. Now, this track being as tight as it is, coming up off the turns, that could be a bang-bang caution. That's something you don't want to see. Right along with Jordan Trask right now, who's running right behind his teammate Joe Spinelli in the 7th spot. I think that's Spinelli up ahead of him. Well, he's a couple up ahead. Yeah, battles going all over the track. Right up ahead of Jordan Trask, we see a pretty crazy battle going on. There we see Zach Mullen, Dyer passing off Altus. Look at that battle there behind back there with Jordan Trask. Looks like I got Brandon Hinton in there. Hinton, excuse me if I mispronounced that. There's Joe Spinelli. Trask getting a little aggressive there, taking a peek 3 deep. He's starting to get a little bit frustrated by the slower cars right now. Todd Perron, Hinton are right there battling nose and tail. They're running for position right now, so even though you're Jordan Trask, you're faster. Ooh, he just taking him 3 deep with all Josh Altus. Altus is all of a sudden slowed his truck down quite a bit. I'm thinking he's trying to make this a fuel saver. Because he was not too long ago. He's around 3 or 4 seconds behind our leader, Nate Lesko, and he's dropped it all the way down to about 6.7 seconds. I don't believe Nate can make it the rest of the way, but I'm expecting him to have to come into pits anytime soon, and here he comes. Nate Lesko, leader, spins it out, and he saves it. Nice save there by Nate Lesko. Did not hit the barrels. It's going to cost him some time. Hopefully he doesn't get a penalty for speeding on pit lane. And that's going to hand the leadership all the way back over to Josh Altus. So now the question is going to be, how far can you go if you got tires that last run and Josh Altus stayed out? That's going to be the question. Joe Spinelli right now is leading the way of the guys who have already come into pit lane. He's 19 seconds, 19.1 seconds now behind Josh Altus. Right second is Tony McDaniel's having a great run tonight after a little bit of incident earlier on, along with Judson Curtis also having some trouble earlier on. We see Jordan Trask has moved up in the 4th spot. Yeah, Ghost still running out there in 6th. But right now we're going to take an eye on this battle right here for 4th between Trask and Spinelli. I think Trask has a little bit of an advantage here because he's got a couple lap fresher tires than Joe, and it looks like he's starting to slowly pull away from Joe. And they are catching up to Altus. They got about a 17-second deficit right now, but that's going to be close. Looks like around 16 laps to go here. Looks like Tony McDaniel's even starting to catch up a little bit to Altus. I think Josh is out there just trying to conserve some fuel, but he can't conserve too much of it because he doesn't want to give up that track position on Jordan Trask and Joe Spinelli. We got 26 to go, and now the grass even cut down another second on the chart, so it's going to be closer at the end. Right along here with Joe Spinelli. He's in a little bit of a battle right now. He's got Brandon Hinton right there with him. Hinton's unfortunately a lap down, running 12th. Up ahead of them, looks like, I believe that's Todd Perront there. Perront's running in the 11th spot, so those guys are battling for position as well. Taking a look right now at Judson Curtis in a third. I did say earlier, I thought Judson has said this is one of his favorite racetracks, and he's showing out there today in a third spot. Tony McDaniel's here running second spot. Tony, of course, is no stranger to these fuel strategy races. He won the late model stocks here a couple weeks ago by pulling off a late race pit strategy with victory. Can he do it again? We'll have to take a look and see. Everything's just so spread out right now amongst the leaders. It's hard to keep an eye on the battles right now. Looks like we got about 13 to go, and Jordan Trask now just 12.6 seconds back of the leader. There you see Ghost just unlapped himself and his teammate, Josh Altus. Ghost there running in 6th. Big thing is going to be difficult for Trask going to be is how hard are McDaniel and Curtis going to make that pass for the position, and Trask actually able to get right up in the second. Wow.
Pitting.
McDaniel actually fell all the way down the 5th. Is he in on pit lane maybe? Yep, I think Tony McDaniel was on pit lane there. He's like, I'm not going to make this. Let me just get some fresh tires on this. So now the question is, if Tony couldn't make it the way, does Josh Altus have the gas to be able to make it the way? The answer is a big fat no burger. Josh Altus, your leader, coming in for a pit, and that's going to psych the lead back to Jordan Trask. So we got Trask, Curtis, Spinelli, Alloy Motorsports are running 1, 2, 3 late in the race. I know some of these other guys would love to see a caution right now to try to get things bumped up, everything bumped back together. Everyone from about 9th place on back. I don't think Curtis or Spinelli are going to have anything for Jordan. He's got too much of a lead right now. He's got a 5.5 second advantage over second place Judson Curtis. Then again, he is balancing pretty heavy traffic right now. Speaking of Judson, there he goes. Looks like Spinelli actually just passed him off, as Spinelli also gets a bit loose coming off of turn 4. Surprised to see Judson be able to run this far on a pit cycle. He might have to bring it in here eventually. He's just babying that thing around right now. Looks like Mitchell Williams is in a pit lane right now. I think Spinelli actually might have burned his tires off right now because he's running high up in those corners. Jordan Trask extended the lead out to 8.8 seconds over his teammate Joe Spinelli. Nate Lesko is actually pulled up into the 3rd spot. Spinelli's going to have to battle. Spinelli's going to be battling Lesko here for 3rd or for 2nd. That's not even a battle. Joe just pulled over. Spinelli just pulled right over. He just said, "Go on by." What if there's something wrong with Joe's truck because he's just losing a lot of time right now on the racetrack. He came in a couple laps before Jordan Trask. We got 4 laps to go. Going right along with the leader, Jordan Trask. He's got clean sailing up ahead. He's probably like, "Get me to the white flag, folks." He has passed his teammate Judson Curtis, is in for a pit right now. Looks like Jordan's shaking a little bit right now. He's getting nervous as the laps tick down. 3 laps to go. You know, he's not pushing that truck hard at all. He's keeping away from walls like I'm not hitting at anything. The only thing I'm hitting is another car if they crash out in front of me. It's 2 laps to go. He's hoping to get across the start-finish line to get the white flag. Oh, Williams just passed Joe Spinelli for the 3rd spot. We're on the white flag right now. Jordan Trask out there, 7.2 second lead. Unless his truck explodes, he's going to take home a victory here tonight. It'll be his 2nd victory of the season. Be extending his point lead already here this evening as well.
Man, I thought you were going to make it all the way. I was sweating a bit. Good race, guys.
Jordan Trask wins Dover Raceway here at the checkered flag.
Yeah, good one.
Looks like we're going to see Nate Lesko pulling out a top 2 here. I did say Nate was, in my opinion, one of the dark horses here to keep an eye on this evening. 3rd place, Matt Williams. Looks like 4th place, we're going to see Abram Gosen on a solid run. Joe Spinelli in 5th. Todd Front in 6th. Brandon Hinton in 7th.
Thanks, man.
Melissa Dyer Machine, who had a very good start to the race there, running in 8th tonight. Josh Altus, who I think might have had the strongest truck all night. Unfortunately, pitch strategy kind of cost him. He ends up finishing 9th. Tony McDaniel rounding out the top 10. Then we got Zach Mullen. Where did Zach come from? Finishing in 11th spot. Good job tonight, Zach. Judson Curtis in 12th. Mitchell Williams, who was strong earlier on, and finishing 13th. Frank Russo in 14th after some rough issues earlier, and Mike Sauter in the number 67, finishing 15th. Again, Jordan Trask, victory tonight. He's burned that thing down the start-finish line. We're going to be coming up with some interviews here pretty soon. Soon we get some folks into the interview booth.
Hey, top 3, go to the interview booth, please. Lesko and Williams.
All right, we're going to get, looks like Nate Lesko is ready for the interview. So we're going to start with him. Nate Lesko here, finishing 2nd. Nate Lesko, is Dave up in the booth? How you doing tonight?
Good, how are you?
Doing pretty good, thanks. First time actually getting to talk to you, but congratulations, you had a solid 2nd place tonight. How you feeling?
Feel pretty good. Thought I had good pace, especially on the long run. So I wish I was a little farther up, but it was a good race overall.
I had you pegged as one of my dark horses tonight because you're new to that, the checkered flag racing. I saw you. Looks like you took basically a provisional tonight, and you're hauling out there tonight, buddy.
Yeah, had a few in these truck races, a few accidents, just kind of get caught up and stuff. So couldn't finish well, but put it together today.
It's good to hear.
Call that a
hey,
win.
Oh, definitely. 2nd place. Anytime you come home in 2nd place in a competitive league like this, it's definitely almost like a victory. Anybody you want to thank here this evening?
Just want to thank the field. Really, this is a tight track, so it can be a wreck fest sometimes. So just a lot of give and take in here. So really clean racing, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh, definitely. I was proud of the work the drivers put in tonight. I think we had 3 cautions tonight. That's excellent for a track like this.
Definitely.
Congratulations on a second place run. Thanks very much for coming up and taking an interview, and hope you have yourself a great weekend.
All right, we'll try to do it again. You too. Thank
Take
you.
care, buddy.
Thank you.
That was Nate Lesko there, finished second tonight in the number 19 Nesquik car. We're going to pull up Matthew Williams in a number 35, who finished third tonight. Matthew Williams, how you doing?
Good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Am I pronouncing your last? Yes.
Williams.
How do you pronounce?
It's like Williams, but you just put a G in front of it.
Okay, if I mispronounce your name, I apologize completely for that.
Hey, Joe does it every week. It's all good. It doesn't matter.
But good run out there tonight. I didn't think you were going to be able to pull off a third, but you're able to pass off Spinelli and get yourself a solid third place run out there tonight. How did it feel out there tonight?
Yeah, it felt good, especially after missing a couple of weeks. Getting back into it, Dover's always a fun place to come to. But yeah, it was just kind of a hit or miss call with us on the strategy, and unfortunately, it didn't work out. But I figured I'd wait a little bit longer to go ahead and take my tires just in case we got a caution with like 25 to go or so. And then figured at that point I could really just try and haul as much as I could and burn them up. So I was kind of surprised I was able to get back to Spinelli, at least to get to third. But overall, pretty good night coming back.
It was definitely a good night out there. It looks like you had a lot of clean racing out there tonight. Were you surprised that we didn't have a little bit more cautions out there? Because it was some tight racing, I noticed.
It was for sure. It was definitely a couple of good battles. I thought I had too. People like in the corners and going too wide and being able to keep stuff. I mean, granted though, I felt like I hit the wall about 10 times. So I think everybody overall did a pretty good job with how tight, especially the truck felt like on corner exit 4, just, people bouncing off the wall and trying to make passes and giving some space and being a little bit patient. But, obviously super impressed. I think we only had 2 cautions total on the night. Just unfortunately for us S&B guys, just it didn't work out with that second one as far as strategy was concerned. But again, that's racing, so you got to deal with the cards you're dealt and move on. So
you and your teammates actually were very fast, and I believe Ghostin is one of your teammates, as well as Altus, and you guys probably had probably about the top 5 trucks out there tonight. So good job on that. Anybody you want to thank before we let you go tonight?
Well, certainly got to thank you guys for everything you do. Certainly appreciate getting back into it. I know I've missed some time here in this most recent season. I know, man. Sorry, vacation's tough. Got to get out when you can. But yeah, I mean, again, thank you guys for everything you do. Certainly glad to be back and hopefully back on a more consistent basis. But I got to thank Pop-Tarts, Apex Mountain Apparel. Certainly got to thank. Yeah, dude, that's my sponsor. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but that's what I got on board. Oh.
If anybody's wondering, he's out there talking to Garrett Stone, who was on mute, so you can't hear him in the broadcast. Yeah. He's out there getting harassed a little bit by Garrett right now. But anyway, thanks for coming back, Matt. It's good to see you back out on the racetrack. We weren't sure what was going on with you, but you got to pull out the Joe Boo truck next week. I miss that truck.
I do. I'm pretty sure I still have it. I don't think I deleted it, so I'm trying to make sure I bring that back. Although I might have to change the wording on the back. I don't know if Chris will allow the choice of language, but we'll see. We'll see if I get away with it, and then if I have to apologize later, we'll do that. But
I just had to. I'm sorry, but great. Congrats on the run tonight. Thanks for your time, and I hope you have yourself a great rest of your weekend.
Thanks, man. You as well. Talk to y'all soon.
Take care, buddy.
Yeah.
That was our third place finisher, Matthew Williams. Hope I got that right. If not, I do apologize in advance. Right now, we're going to pull up the race winner, Jordan Trass here. Jordan Trass, Dave up in the booth. How you doing tonight?
Pretty good. How about you?
Doing good. You had a bit of a pitch strategy victory there tonight. How you feeling?
Yeah, I didn't really know how it was going to turn out. One caution would have totally flipped that one upside down. But played the long game early and took the risk of splitting it up late. And I really thought Altus would have been able to make it on fuel, but I guess he was just a few laps short there, and everything played out just the way I hoped it would.
Yeah, I was talking with Garrett here, who's also as we just mentioned when we were talking with Matt here a couple seconds ago, during the race we were discussing like maybe Altus might have been able to go the rest of the way, but I was kind of surprised he came in with 10 laps to go. Looked like you were battling Spinelli out there pretty early on. I was happy to see Joe out there running well, top 5. Very surprised there weren't more cautions out there tonight because you did just mention that a caution could have turned things upside down. How did you feel about the racing out there in general tonight?
Yeah, overall the truck felt great. Setup was really nice. It was tight if you pushed it too hard on the throttle. It was loose if you were turning too much on your exit. The balance was really even, and I feel like if you wanted to hurt the right front and drive hard early, you could, and if you wanted to save and maybe balance it out the right rear, you could as well. And I think honestly, it just helped most people try to be comfortable on this track.
Yeah, the setup was really good. I ran that in practice. It felt nice.
Yeah, and it was fun to drive. I wish I got to battle Altus more. I was saving pretty hard early, but with only having 2 sets of tires, you kind of want to make sure you have a set to play with at the end. Yeah, once those early cautions came out, it allowed me to set up to do a one-stop strategy and save a set for the end. And eventually, when that second caution came out later in the race, that was when we took our first set, and since the other guys had already pit for a tire set, then we had a few laps advantage on them.
That's a good thing. Looks like tonight I see Ryan Engel didn't come in, unfortunately, for the race tonight. So with the victory, you extended your lead pretty much here. How's you feeling with the point standings chase going on?
Yeah, it's definitely a good week. There's been some tough competition in this league, so it's nice to get a win. I did message him hoping he'd be here tonight, but I guess he was busy tonight. So hopefully I'll see him next week and we can continue a battle.
All right. Before we let you go here tonight, Jordan, anybody you want to congratulate or thank? Not really congratulate, because you should be congratulating you.
Thank you for the broadcast, and thanks for putting on the races. So it's always fun to run these, and yeah, I'm sure they're having a fun time and not watching this race. So, yeah, hopefully they're having a fun time. I know that their taxi got a flat tire like a minute out of the airport, so that was fun. But glad they got there safe, and have a good night, guys. Thanks for the race.
All right, thanks for coming in. Yep, that again was the Dover Motor Speedway here at the Checkered Flag Racing. Jordan Trask takes your victory here tonight. Nate Lesko finishes second, and number 19, and Matt Williams in the third spot there, finishing out the podium. Thanks for everyone who joined us here watching it live on YouTube. We're going to be racing at the Checkered Flag on Sunday night. The Xfinity cars are going to be out there racing here this weekend. And also on Monday night, we have the late model stock. So if you're interested in joining us for the race, please visit the Checkered Discord. We're going to be going to Charlotte on Sunday for the Xfinity cars. So again, if you do want to check out and join us in on the action, please join the Discord. You can find the Discord information on our Facebook. And we are running North Wilkesboro Monday night at the late model stock. So just keep that in mind. Thanks again for